Greetings, YouTube. If you missed it, before I went to bed on, well, I guess technically it was Friday, way early morning, though for those of you across the pond, it was Saturday. Or I guess it was not really Saturday, it was more like later Friday. It all runs together when you're in a new time zone, and I'm in the mountain time zone. I did a video over how I got Act 6, Chapter 2 compensation. I still don't really understand how I got this, because it's one thing if you say, hey, if you jumped into Act 6, Chapter 2 at any point, here's some compensation. But it used the word recently, as you have recently attempted those quests. And that is, that's not my account. If you look at my Act 6, Chapter 2, you will see pretty unimpressive. My Act 6, Chapter 2 resume. This is what I've done. And I don't think it's worth going back. But I got the compensation. That felt pretty game-changing. As did this reminder about third-party sites. I don't really know. It says currency sales. Maybe that's through like PayPal or something. I used to see that during the gifting event, but this specific message, kind of confusing. But I had so many different messages. And then I got this Alliance Wars correction message. And that was interesting because I don't do Alliance Wars. But I guess that went out to everybody. And then we have the usual summoner advancement and the refreshed ramage. You can see that I tried on one of the arenas for this week and not on the other. We got the 1 to 5 and then 31 to 60. But here's the crazy thing about well, first off, the daily quest timer updates. Worth noting that they're realigning them on June 9th. I think that's fairly newsworthy. But hidden amongst all of this was true Paragon history. Because for those of you who are Paragon, and see what makes this really interesting is the early release bundle used to give to people who were uncollected Cavalier crystals. Almost as like a teaser, but an incentive to grow your account as well. Because obviously, if you're uncollected, you can't purchase Cavalier crystals, but you could for $50. And then we got a buff to that Cavalier crystal offer. Well, now we have Paragon crystals, and wouldn't you know it, the big question has been, will there be a featured Paragon crystal? Well, when you go now to the unit store, you will see that $50 gets you automatically an awakened 5-star. So that is one more 5-star than this bundle, which, by the way, can we just say, if you're going to make this bundle $50, why not make the Cavalier bundle like $30? Why keep them the same price when there is obviously so much more value in featured Paragon crystals? Which reminds me, by the way, now if you purchase this twice, you're getting 4 of the 5-star champion, which I guess would be a guarantee of 660, if I'm doing the math right, and that's always a question mark, especially on vacation. But featured Paragon crystals, 0.2% drop rate for the new 7-star, 0.7% for the 6-star. The 5-star in this bundle means nothing besides SIGs because you get 2. Before, at least, it was like, well, maybe I'll awaken him. I don't know. 7-star hero, still a low percent, but it's 1.5%, and the 6-star is 12. That is a pretty big difference. 1.5% and 12 versus the regular Paragon crystal, which, keep in mind, as I claim my daily cards, and yes, it's all about taking Red Hulk to rank 5 eventually. But instead of 1%, it is 1.5%. And instead of 8%, it's 12%. May not sound like a big change, but over the course of many crystals, those drop rates should add up. Now, the thing that I have talked least about, as you can tell from this video, is the pathetic amount of 7-star shards. This is how many 6-star shards we used to get from the pre-release bundles, the early access bundles years ago, and it was pathetic. Kabam knew it was pathetic because not a lot of these things were purchased. And so what they did was they went from 500 or 1,000 to 2,500. Huge buff, very much appreciated. I wish it was at least 1,000 7-star shards, because keep in mind, the 6-star shards were also based on a basic crystal that was 10,000, still is 10,000 6-star shards for the price. The 7-star basic crystal is, of course, after the first two, 15,000. So I don't know why Kabam is making 7-star shards so difficult to get, but it is very eye-opening and very confusing. Featured Paragon crystals are the future of the game, but they also, in this bundle, are a bit confusing. I still think they need to lower the price for Paragon players especially of the early access bundle for the Cavalier crystals and up to 7-star shards, which I guess they'll eventually do, but would have helped now. Are you excited about this? Do you want to buy it? $50 is also a lot of money in general. Remember, end of the month, July 4th weekend sales, that's really going to be where you want to save your money for the best possible value.